Alright, so I'm back doing some more Pokemon Run&Bun. Essentially, I did a recording earlier where I was in Roxanne's gym, and unfortunately the audio did not record correctly for that. Long story short, things did not go well at all. I wasn't too surprised by that. Basically, our box didn't have a lot of things that were defensive enough to do riskless strategies. So once we got in there, some poorly timed crits and flinches ended up snowballing, and yeah, we're back in the truck. I also did another attempt where I had started recording that and was going to, go through the early game as normal, and then the Swirlix, the metronome lady has, ripped a Leaf Storm off of Metronome into Piplup, and that didn't end well, so back at the truck we are. They shipped my corpse back home in a moving van. I actually started another attempt afterwards and then realized I wasn't recording, but I didn't get far, so we're good. Rather than start the recording mid-attempt, I just reset the run. That being said, I'm not going to be doing a ton of resets for like the best possible starter or the best possible six-pack. Until we start taking deaths, we don't need to reevaluate whether I'm going to continue the run. We only need to do that once we start losing Pokemon, which hopefully we get far enough into the run that losing a Mon or two is not that big of a deal, all things considered. As long as it isn't our starter, of course. We're gonna be going for Piplup for the starter. If I can ever get far enough to actually evolve it into Empoleon, I'd love to have a Water and Steel type. So let's go ahead, beat up on Zigzagoon, and we're gonna see what it has to offer us as far as nature and IVs go. We'll go ahead and check the summary now. Alright, so we're starting out with a bold nature, so that's going to be less attack. What was it increasing? More defense. Okay, so while we will have some physical attacks, the minus attack nature could be not ideal. Being able to have plus defense for some extra bulk is going to be very nice. Speaking of which, let's check the IVs. Okay, I can absolutely work with this. HP and defenses are the three perfect ones we had, and I really like having that much bulk. That is going to be very helpful, especially with the defense boosting nature. We are going to be tanking hits like crazy if we get far enough. Looking over at special attack, which should be our main attacking stat, it's very close to perfect at 27, so we aren't going to need to scale that almost certainly. That'll be very good. Speed is mid. It could be better. It's not a great one to have a low IV in, but I mean, all things considered, this is a very good Piplup, so I'm happy to have this. Oops. Really happy to have one that's so bulky. There we go. So, in the past I've been just naming this Penguin, but I ended up switching that out, and now I'm nicknaming it Happy Feet. You know, the Happy Feet movie, looking back on it, was not that great, but man, when I was a kid, it was the best thing. Alright, let me go ahead and candy up Piplup here. Actually, let's look back at its IVs again. So yeah, as far as attack goes, even though we have the minus attack nature, 23 IVs in it. That is certainly not a bad IV roll. So even though we're gonna have the negative nature, I'm satisfied with that enough to still use physical attacks. Gonna be mainly special, of course, but still. Let me just go ahead and grab the Super Rod. Alright, and now we're just gonna beat up Trico real quick. Like just one shots here. So while we're heading back here to grab the Pokeballs, I'm gonna be doing things a little bit differently here than how I've approached grabbing the 6-pack before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be delaying most of these encounters until I get my Route 104 Pokemon. Reason being, on Route 104, there's a decent chance I get a Pokemon with Compound Eyes, which will boost how often the other Mons I find are holding items. Now, in most cases, that's not going to do a ton for us. The main thing though, we'd be looking for with that is grabbing honey from Surskit, because that means if at any point we find Teddy Ursa before we get access to honey normally, we can just have an Ursa Luna immediately, and that would be broken. The other main thing we'd be looking for is the potential to get an Abra on Route 102. And they have a chance to hold a Twisted Spoon, so that would be nice. Over here on Route 103, the only thing that can really hold an item, whoops, don't want to walk through the grass right now. The only thing over here that can really hold an item is Badoo, and that can hold a Poison Barb. You get one of those as soon as you get cut, so it's not super impactful, but could potentially be helpful, or more likely to get through Brawly maybe. Meanwhile, over here on Route 102, that's where you can get Abra. Route 101, the only thing that can hold an item is Skitty, can hold a Moonstone, which Skitty doesn't do much, so at the very least, if I get one, I would rather it hold a Moonstone than not. So let's go ahead and get our Oldale Town encounter. The only thing that can hold an item here is Salandit, and the item it holds is a Smoke Ball. All that does is guarantee that, that you can escape from battle. Ah, Fletchling. Okay, Fletchling is very solid. But yeah, all Smoke Ball would do is guarantee that I could escape from a wild Pokemon encounter, which in a challenge like this, pretty obvious why that's not going to be helpful to us. Technically, it's an item you can only get from wild Pokemon, but, you know, I'm not gonna go after that. Alright, so we can name Fletchling Crispy. Tried to say Fletchling and Crispy at the same time. Okay, so Crispy over here is going to, once it evolves into Talonflame, that's going to be a pretty solid team member. But as opposed to judge that, we have to take a look at its nature and stats here. Let's see what we got. Timid, okay. So that's not ideal, because we want it to have good attack. At the same time, it's a fast Pokemon, so having plus speed is very nice. Let's check the IVs here. Okay, these are pretty good IVs. I can work with this. Its defenses are, on the special side, a little mid. On the defensive side, maybe a little higher than average. Maybe a little lower on the specially defensive side. It's going to be a frail Pokemon anyway. Don't care about special attack. Speed is an okay IV, but attack is very high up there. That can definitely mitigate some of the loss from the minus attack nature. So, works for me. We're gonna go ahead and candy this up. Crispy over here, already being a Frailmon, those average to below average defenses do mean that finding opportunities to roost is going to be hard once it gets access to it, but at the same time, can't be too bad. Anyway, now that we have the Oldale Town encounter, that's the only encounter we want before moving on. So, we're just going to go ahead and start battling these trainers here. all we really need to do is spam bubble because we're so much higher level than them. Sometimes I'm using pound and I'll kill him just because the animation's so much faster. Just, you know, don't want to waste a bunch of time. Sliders. Oh, even if I am myself in confusion, it can't KO. So I'm just gonna pound it to be funny. He's gonna have to learn the hard way that Swagger is a risky strategy if he wants to win. Regardless, how much HP do I have? Enough that I can just heal from Pluck against this guy, so I don't even have to swap out Pokemon. Cool. There's Grubbin. And there's Grubbin's Hornberry. Oh, it actually lived. Paralysis, huh? Okay. Alright, get out of here, Grubbin. Kaneko, you have an Hornberry, so I'm gonna grab that. So just iron defenses. Oh, paralysis. Okay, well. Now goes for Pin Missile. Pin Missile can't do too much to us, even if it gets the 5 hits. There it gets the 3. Hey, there we go, there's Pluck. I was afraid I was gonna have to swap out to Crispy. Go. Alright, so now we can level. It's actually getting the 5 hits this time. Huh, paralysis again. Alright, Crispy it is then. Having to swap mons against the second trainer in the game. Sometimes weird stuff happens. Alright. I used Iron Defense, but Aerial Ace. No, it actually didn't KO. Oh, not too surprised. Not too surprised after Iron Defense. Can't really do much to us here. And there's the Stampede, so we'll just spam Aerial Ace here. And it just one-shots, perfect. Well, congratulations, Happy Feet. You didn't die to a pine cone. Need to stop accidentally walking through those grass patches. I think my audio messed up there. I think I accidentally hit the speed up button for a second. Anyway, so if we just look at what trainer's next. Oops. We've got the one with Go-Go and stuff. So we can just pluck all its berries off. Pluck's just super effective against you, so not that grabbing your lumberry matters. Yeah, look how little Vine Whip is doing. The power of being nearly twice the level of whatever you're fighting. Low Psyduck. Grab your Rolling Berry. You know, ironically, this is the one point in the game where Psywave is the most dangerous. There we are. Alright, Bubbles should one-shot here. Really? Twice your level, super effective stab move. Your level, super effective stab move. Didn't one shot. Honestly, that's a little odd, especially where I had the perfect special attack IV. Not quite perfect, but either way, I don't think it would have one shot if it was. Odd. Well, that's what the damage calculator is for. Anyway, we've got the metronome trainer coming up. So let's hope it doesn't rip anything too crazy off the metronome. Gonna be giving them some orange berries just to make sure. I'm gonna have Crispy lead off here. Oh, actually, wait. Oh, right, it's not. It's not a fire type yet, so Fairy Wind still doesn't do resistant damage. Oh, I do want to double check its ability real quick. Fletchling. Okay, yeah, Kunai is the only ability, and it gets Flame Body after. Alrighty, so both of them got Orange Berries. Alright, let's do this. And that should be the last trainer until we can actually get onto the next route there. Yep, last one until the triathlete with Yemna. Alright, Happy Feet. Spam Bubble, do your thing. Don't have to worry too much about Fairy Wind doing much. Have to... Oh, hey, a nice crit. Didn't have to deal with berry juice. Well, it's nice when Metronome can do practically anything. Spinda, I'll let you get your fake out in. Alright, what you got? Hex. Okay. Yeah, didn't do too much. Never I'm never quite sure how much the attacks from this thing are going to do. Waterfall. Well, it's resisted. No flinch, please. Didn't get the flinch, darn. At least it barely did anything. Oh, Fine Whip is... oh, not doing that much damage. Well, that's good. I thought that would do a lot more, but I guess when it's not stab, don't have to worry about it that much. Regardless, we don't want to be taking too many hits here, so hopefully Metronome gets a few useless moves. Water Spout. Okay, good. Resisted. Wasn't sure about that because it is at full health, but I think I should be able to take one more hit. Bubble Beam. Good, good. Okay, 14 health is a little low, so I kind of want to switch in Crispy here. Because any somewhat powerful move could easily KO it. Ooh, yeah, like Dragon Darts. Besides, Crispy's faster. Oh, Area wasted a little more than I thought it would. Alright, cool. So, that is the last trainer over here. That's just a potion. Alrighty, so we're in Petalburg, and we're delaying Petalburg until we get Surf. If we ever get to that point, of course. Alright, they're gonna make me go to the gym. Nah, it won't let me. Alright, so we're gonna go through the Wally thing here. Here, I'm actually gonna speed up the Wally thing. I don't use speed up a lot, but I'll do it here when we're just watching a cutscene we've seen 1,000 times. Now, let's see if it's a shiny Ralts. If I say it will be every time, it'll happen eventually. Nope, not shiny Ralts. One of these days. Alright, there we go. Now, we'll be on Route 104, and we'll actually be attempting to grab that Compound Eyes Pokemon, and then we can actually grab the rest of our 6-pack. So, first, let me grab that Oranberry off of Crispy before I forget. Here we are. Okay, so let's see who we get here. Ooh, Salandit. Okay. It is another fire type, which I already had one of, but I am absolutely okay with having those Salandit. Those are very solid. Oh, I bet you were gonna get in there. So if we look up Salazzle here, you can see that it's mostly going to be a special attack, of course, but it's not going to be particularly bulky. It can be very fast though, so special attack and speed are the main things we're looking for IV-wise. What do we want to name you? Greasefire? Well, you are poisonous. Maybe an oil spell. That'd be more of a fire ground thing, huh? We'll just name you Sally. Sally the Salamander. Doesn't work because you're a male. I got it. Salaman. Salaman for salamander. Alright, cool. So, got that. Let's go ahead and heal off that scratch damage. Didn't get the monolith compound eyes, but no big deal. It's relatively unlikely, and hey, that is an absolutely very nice addition to the six-pack. So, let's see what we have. Okay, so it does have corrosion. Now this is a hardy nature, so that is going to be neutral stat gains. Works for me. As far as the ability, pretty sure that's its only one. So, yeah, there's sounded, and yeah, corrosion is the only ability there. I'm really glad it lets it evolve regardless of gender. Once we get Salazzle, man, Encore could be very nice, especially where it's fast. Swagger not so much, but anyway. Got that. Let's check out these IVs, because neutral nature is fine. Okay, I can absolutely live with these. 24 HP and 23 special defense IVs mean it's going to be a little bulkier on special end than normal. Defense IVs are below average, but with above average HP that can balance out. We'll be fine there. Attack luckily doesn't really matter for Salandit. Speed is very good. I'm glad we got a high IV in that, and 19 special attack I can absolutely work with. Cool. So let's go ahead and candy this up. Oh, actually, I forgot to check. What moves does it have right at the moment? Right, Smog and Ember. And I guess Scratch, but, you know. Ooh. Does Smog always poisons in this? Doesn't it? Let me see. Yeah, let me check for the here. This is alphabetical, so we can just... Oh, there's Smog. Yeah, better accuracy, and it always poisons. Alright, can't rely on it to hit every time, but the fact that it poisons every time, I can work with that. Alrighty. And Ember is Ember is our reliable stat move. And I guess there's Scratch there. Alright, let's see what else we can get in our six-pack. even if we don't get like every best mon, having a fletchling and a Salandit makes this at least pretty decent. Alright, so let's see what we get for 102. Ah, Pidgey. Okay. Unfortunately not ideal since we already have a flying type. It will be normal, meaning it's immune to Ghost. There is some niche in that, but unfortunately Pidgey doesn't really offer a ton to us. Then again, the last attempt I did, we did squeeze a surprising amount out of it. It saved us against a runaway Whirlipede on the Museum Aqua Grunts, and then the fact it got Feather Dance was the only reason Raleigh Scraggy didn't get completely out of control. So it has some use. I don't mean to say that it can't do anything, just not ideal. But hey, gotta squeeze every ounce of juice we can out of every encounter. So let's take a look here and see what we're looking at stats-wise. So Pidgey is kind of split here. If we look at Pidgeot, it's primarily a physical attacker, but Mega Pidgeot is far and away a special attacker. So we'll want to stick mostly with special attacks. That's most of what it gets anyway, I think. Besides, its attack and special attack aren't all that different, but we'll see what the nature has in store for us. Here we are. As Kenai, of course, only ability, relaxed nature, okay. So minus speed is never ideal, but having a little bit, it gives extra physical defense. Having a bit of extra physical bulk, I mean, can't say it's bad. Can't say that's a bad thing. Still, lower speed on something I'm hoping would be a bit faster, not great. How are IVs looking? Okay, not terrible. HP's good. Defenses are a little below average, but higher HP can kind of balance that out for us a little bit. Unfortunately, speed's a little below average as well, and with a minus nature, not amazing. Attack is mid. Luckily, special attack is very high, so we at least won't have any dilemmas over which side of the physical special split to prioritize. At least with a plus defense nature, that's going to make its physical bulk more manageable there, so that maybe it can take a little bit of physical hits there for us. Regardless, we'll go ahead and candy it up. Technically we'll have 7 encounters by the time we do the next thing. By the time we do the next battle. Anyway, I already got the rod, didn't I? Yes, I did. Totally got 1 3. Okay, a bounce suite. I can absolutely work with that. Splash away, bounce sweep. It's not Gossip, but Serena can be very solid. So if we look up Serena, there we are. So we can, of course, we can see it's mostly a physical attacker, so that's where we're going to be. That's what we're going to be looking for, IV and nature-wise. And bulk is pretty decent as well. It's not the fastest thing. So what do we want to name you? Well, let's just do Queen. There we go. Okay. So, what do you have, Queen? Okay, so it's got Oblivious. Is that the only option for an ability on it? Let me see. Oops. Sweet. It can also have Sweet Veil. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so Oblivious is the one that goes into Queenly Majesty. Okay. Now I actually forget what Sweet Veil does. And its allies cannot fall asleep. Okay, well, being immune to sleep could be good in some cases, but Queenly Majesty, on the other hand, could be extremely important in double battles later on. Anyway, now that we have that, let's see. It has a quiet nature. Okay, so that does mean it's lower speed. Not the worst thing in the world for it, since it's not meant to be a super fast Pokemon. What did Quiet raise again? I'm too blind to see by color. Plus special attack. Okay, so unfortunately its nature really isn't doing anything for us. It takes a lot of scales to change something's nature, but like if we get super late game and we really need that extra speed, we'll see what happens. Let's see what it's looking like IV-wise. Huh. Interesting. So we have 31 special attack IVs and a plus special attack nature. See, that would have been really nice on something that wasn't so lopsided in its stats there. Huh. Okay. Well, it is a grass type at least. It has pretty decent defenses. Its attack is unfortunately very low. Its speed is mid. Okay. Not the best bounce we could have gotten. Regardless, let's candy it up. Oh, let me just double check here. So, bounce wave does evolve at level 12. There's nothing we need to delay it for, right? Does it gets raised early at 12? No. The only thing is it gets like magic wave at 21, puts out a stunny. No, there's no reason to delay it here. Despite the awkward stats, the fact that it's going to have Queenly Majesty eventually, and it does have Rapid Spin, this probably does have some uses for us. So yeah, there is at least some uses for it here. Right now it's our only grass type. I'd like to get more options there. Let's see what we can get on Route 101 over here. Not a skitty, please. Ooh, Baneri. Okay, that is very nice. It's gonna splash at us. Let's see. What should I nickname this thing? Do I nickname it Bugs? Like Bugs Bunny? Nah, it's female. That wouldn't work quite as well. Ah, got it. Oops. Wabbit. There we go. Cool. Okay, so what does Wabbit have for us? As far as what we're wanting from it. Oops. Got Lopunny here. We are, of course, primarily wanting attack, but also some speed would be nice. Bulk never hurts. As far as Mega Lopunny goes, we want to lean as much into that attack and speed as we can. So, what can... let me see what it can have for abilities. I don't think it's split ability. Oh, it is. Cute Charm or Limber. Both of those are really solid. Yeah, once it evolves into Lopunny at level 20, I can grab Triple Axle off a heart scale and U-turn too. Both of those would be very nice. Ideally, we just have a nature and speed stat and attack stat that's going to make that realistic. Let's see what we have. A quiet nature. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we look back at quiet again here. Yeah, that's going to be plus special attack minus speed. Okay, we do have Limber. I'd argue Limber is the... I don't know, I'd argue Limber is the worst ability, because Cute Charm, inflicting something with attraction can be very nice, but also that's really based on RNG, because they have to make contact, then they have to get hit by Cute Charm, and then you have to be staying in, and then miss the coin flip. Great when it hits. Limber's a lot easier for me to play around, though. Neither of them are bad. So let's see what IVs are. Ouch, okay. So we have very good bulk, which is... It's only gonna do so much for a Lopunny, as frail as it is. Its attack is average. I can work with that. But unfortunately, that speed is very low, and it has minus speed. I have a feeling that this is just not going to be outspeeding a lot of things that I would need it to. If we get to the point where we can have Mega Lopunny, it would definitely be worth changing its nature here. We definitely want to max out its speed if we do that, but okay. So if we get this far enough, that may require a lot of heart scales to be the best it can be, but otherwise, so great mon, but unfortunately not the best stats for it. But hey, anything that's immune to paralysis without being an electric type is probably going to have at least some niche use here. Okay, so last but not least, oh, nobody was holding anything, right? No. Okay, last but not least, let's get our little root encounter. What do we get? Lotad, okay. Well, hey, that is another grass type option that I was asking for. Getting the Pokeball Lotad. Look, Lotad, I know a Great Ball would match your color scheme better, but I don't have any, so unfortunately you gotta get in the Pokeball. You'll have to settle for contrasting colors. Alright, let's settle for contrasting colors. Now, Lotad, your nickname is easy. We can just name you Lily, like a lily pad. Cool. Alright, so have to go to the Pokemon Center to see what Lotad has for us. First, as far as what we're hoping for here, if we look up Ludicolo's base stats, oops, there it is. We can see it's not the fastest thing, but it is at least decently bulky, especially on the special side, and has decent special attack. So hey, maybe some bulk. Low speed is never a great thing, but as long as we can get at least okay bulk, maybe some special attack, we should be good. Now, as far as abilities go, we can get either Swift Swim or Rain Dash. I mean, I'd be fine with either. They both make it better in rain, but I really prefer Swift Swim to help it outspeed some stuff. Oh, whoops, tried to use the fishing rod. Well, now that we have all our encounters, before we move on, I'm just going to set up the Pokebox here. Yeah, we'll just name this Earth, and we're gonna have our graveyard here. There we go. Alright, so Lotad, not holding anything, fine. Let's get you in the party so we can use candies on you. Oh, right, I should heal Penguin before I forget, because I will forget. Alright, so now, Lotad, let's take a look at your stats. Okay, so we get Rain Dish. That's okay. Definitely preferred Swift Swim, but it's still gonna get some good stuff in rain. Now, Brave Nature, unfortunately, I think that's plus physical attack, is it not? Brave, yes, plus attack minus speed, okay. So not an ideal nature for it, but it's not meant to be the fastest thing in the world anyway, so it's also not crippling. It's not like minus special attack or minus one of its defenses or something. So all in all, not too bad of a nature. Let's look at IVs. Okay, So on the one hand, its defenses are absolutely terrible. This thing is going. This thing is not surviving a lot of crits. On the other hand, its speed is mid, but we have the lowering speed nature. But its special attack is awesome, actually. Special attack is great. Actually, if we look, yeah, its special attack is 20 points higher than its physical attack, base stat. Yeesh, ironically at the moment, its attack is almost as high as its special at the moment, but regardless, having such little bulk on a Ludicolo here is not ideal, but hopefully its base special defense stat can pull it through that. Regardless, when does Lotad evolve again? That doesn't evolve till 14, cool. So nothing we need to delay for right now. This is just going to become Swift, realistically, but it's got to be better than Growl. That being said, I'm probably getting rid of Natural Gift the first opportunity I get. There we go. Okay, so now we have the first battle we actually need to plan for. The guy with the Yamba, because not supersonic, sonic boom, I mean, that can be a problem. Oh, whoops. Forgot I had to move the cursor to hit yes on save. Okay, so now that we've saved, we can just use the script we have to export our Pokemon sets. And throw them into the damage calculator. There we go. So, who do we have? Who do we have here? Okay, who is going to go up against Krabby? Well, let's see. So, Stenie going against Krabby does outspeed. This thing does have an Oranberry, so we can't crit it. But we do outspeed, so it could try and outspeed us with Mudshot, which isn't bad, because, yeah. It's not bad because it barely does anything. Even a crit stomp doesn't do half. Razor Leaf isn't gonna two-shot. But after the Oranberry heals, it probably three-shots. What's our other option? Lotad over here. It takes a ridiculous amount from Stomp. If it gets a flinch, it's just out of there. On the other hand, Absorb also does a ridiculous amount. So ridiculous that it can heal over a quarter of its health. But Sneeze is probably the more consistent option there. As far as our other Pokemon, we are doing a ton to it with our other mods over here. Miri, what are you doing with Pound? Yeah, not much. And Penguin over here. Well, Penguin does outspeed and it can't get speed lowered. It's got Pluck. I mean, Penguin actually has a decent chance against this, as long as Stomp doesn't start critting. Honestly, even if it does, Pluck may save us because we deny it the heal. Okay, regardless, we just used the need for a crappy answer here. As far as who's next, against me, it may send out Clobbopus, but more than likely, it wants to send out Yanma. Now, it should always Sonic Boom here, because it doesn't see what happens if Acrobatics crits. Only if it gets a max roll does it have a chance to go for Acrobatics. So we just have to worry about Sonic Boom. Thing is, we don't really do a lot to it. But yeah, it doesn't outspeed, but neither does Clobbopus. Yeah, Clobbopus is slower, it doesn't deal more damage than it takes. Meanwhile, Yanma is slower, but deals more damage than it takes, so it sends out Yanma. We've probably taken enough from Krabby to get put in Sonic Boom range. If we don't, maybe we can get in a Rapid Spin just for fun. But who do we send in against Yanma? It's always going to Sonic Boom. 17. So Veneri can get in a Pound, maybe. Lotad's so weak to Acrobatics that actually just goes for that, and well, pretty much always one-shots. So, not Lotad. Pidgey? Oh, Gus does a lot of damage. Let's see, yeah, that speed's even a +1. Salandit, what you got going for you? Let's see, so it's up from 116, heal Thornberry up to 26. Okay, so I can take one. So we can Ember. That do most of its health. Penguin, how are you doing? Can't pluck you down. Can't one-shot you with pluck. But okay, yeah. If I have Salandit and Penguin and Happy Feet over here to go against Yanma, we'll have to switch both of them in. But with Wormberries, they can both take 2 Sonic Booms, so we're good there. Clobbopus will be switching in after that, and Penguin Happy Feet over here does outspeed it, so I think there's a pretty good chance that I just pluck off its Wormberry, and if it binds, I probably just one-shot it with another pluck. Otherwise, maybe it Rock Smashes, maybe I have to reevaluate. But I think we should be good, because Fletchling over here does a lot with Aerial Ace, but not enough that it's one-shotting. Same with Pidgey and Gust. Honestly, Gust has a chance that it doesn't even... Actually, almost never 2 shots. Oh, alright. Really, the only thing we have to worry about is the fact that Lotad can die to Acrobatics from Ninjask, so yeah. Yeah, I think we have our plan there. Penguin can handle both the end of the Mega and Clobbopus. Cool. Okay, so we've got our team. Leave everyone but Lotad behind. Well, take everyone but Lotad, I mean. And everyone gets Oranberries. actually, I do need to switch the order here, because we are putting in Queen over here first. That's going to be Salandit. Piplup over here taking on the Omega. Everyone else is for backup. Cool. Alright. So we have everyone. Technically we can fish here in Battle Birb, but like I said, we are delaying that. Because once we get Surf, we can get either a Primarina or a Greninja from there, and Primarina is an Elite Four staple. Greninja is not like as good, but still going to be very good at that point in the game. Can't complain about it at that point. Let's see, we don't have any ground types yet, do we? No, we don't. Okay. Alrighty, Route 104. Alright, let's go fight the Yama Trader here. Alright, Queen, you should be able to just Razor Leaf this into oblivion after a few hits. So it does go for the Mud Shot immediately to get speed control. Alrighty then. No flinch, that's good. So it does get the Orange Berry healing. It's not an issue because we'll one-shot it next. I have to check though. We're at 25 health. Does that Stomp have a chance to crit? Well, of course it has a chance, but okay, so it never kills here. We're good. Just don't flinch, please. No, I did flinch. Still doesn't have a chance to kill though, so we have another chance. And we flinched again. Shit. Okay. So now Stomp has a chance to just kill it. So we need to figure out what else we can do here. Now Krabby is at half health, below half health. It doesn't have its own berry. I need to see which one of my other mons is going to be able to outspeed and take out half of its health. Baneri. Scared of Stomp crits there. We do outspeed, but Fletchling. What do? You can't do half. What about Pidgey? You're probably the closest to doing half. You're immune to Mud Shot, so only way it outspeeds you is with Aqua Jet, of course. It does the same damage as Stomp, but at least you can't get flinched. Yeah, okay. If we need to do another switch in later, we can, but for now, Birb is going to be the one trying to tank this. So at 24 health, it still can't kill, right? Correct, okay, good. So, we're just gonna Gust here, and Aqua Jets. Surprisingly does less than 10, so we actually gain a little bit of HP. Thank you, Krabby, for flinching Stimmy so much. Alright, here we go. Since Yanma, it goes for Sonic Boom here, so we just go for our original plan. Come on, Salmon. There you go. Alright, and now you can survive the second sonic boom. You have enough time to Ember. You're surprisingly still faster. I have to make sure +2. It outspeeds, right? Yes. Okay, so cool. So we just continue with our original plan. Swap in Happy Feet. Sonic Boom lets us heal with our Oranberry. Then at this point, Pluck is going to... So that's Krabby. And at this point, Pluck is going to take you down. Platypus. Now, me being at 8 health, I am faster than Platypus, right? Yes, I am faster, so I can steal that Oranberry, get up to 18 health, and I shouldn't have to worry too much. Yeah, Rock Smash can't KO even if it crits. -1 defense, though. Yeah, it can do a lot more. So I do have to be careful, but Pluck... Yeah, Pluck should pretty much always two-shot here. Besides, other options... Well, Crispy over here still has full health in Oranberry. Aerial Ace, 100% two-shots here. Yeah, those damage numbers are with crits. Tell you what, if it binds, I shouldn't have to worry too much. If it binds, I shouldn't have to worry. If it Rock Smashes, I'll switch out. So we Pluck first here. Thank you for your Oranberry. Okay, it does Rock Smash. Yep, nice crit. Oh, right. Forgot that I don't have my defense drop. No problem. No change in strategy though, because at 9 health it can absolutely kill me. Alright, so now we just aerial waste to end it. Alright, cool. You successfully defeated the Yama trainer despite some weird flinch luck from Krabby. I'll take it. Alrighty. I need to go ahead, load up the next encounter there, and grab my items off my Pokemon. The ones that still have them at least. There we are. Alright, so the next one is the guy with a few Magikarps. Ironically, Piplup is probably the best against the first one here because of Bounce. Maybe someone else's, but our grass types are probably not in a great position here. Yeah, Bounce can just kill Lotad. Meanwhile, our other Mons are having a little bit better of a time. Interestingly, Fletchling can actually hit it on all turns thanks to Quick Attack. Yeah, as long as Bounce doesn't crit, we should be good. Doesn't have speed. Okay, yeah. Ironically, Fletchling is the best against the first one here. As far as the second Magikarp goes, I need to assume Flail. So 1 HP for a lot of this. As far as the second Magikarp goes, don't have to worry about too much there with neither Stenie nor Lotad. I stand corrected on Lotad. Flail can potentially KO it, but it's never gonna go for Flail while it's at full HP. So I can just one-shot it. Well, nearly, because it has Focus Sash with Absorb after already taking its hit. And then is there anything that can tank a 1 HP Flail and then have priority? One doesn't have priority. Crit Flail's at 1 HP still, hardly ever 2-shot though. Salandit. Certainly can't take a Hydro Pump. Doesn't have priority. No priority. Probably can't take Flails too well. No priority. Pidgey. No priority. Fletchling can't take Flails too well. Maybe I'm better off switching Stenie in here, because Razor Leaf still puts it in pretty rough range, but I can just Rapid Spin first, I'll be fine. Yeah, we'll just have Stenie in there. Lotad, if this is at full HP, Lotad still doesn't take much from Flail. Yeah, I probably just have Lotad just use Astonish first and then Absorb. Yeah, that'll be fine. Stenie can come in here. We can just take everybody other than Salandit. Salandit isn't gonna do a ton for us against a couple of Magikarps. Alrighty. So that's our plan for the Magikarp trainer. Right, we left behind Lotad. This time, sorry, Salaman. As far as the order, Fletchling can come first. There we go. And everyone gets orange berries. Oops. There we go. Alright, here we go. It's crazy that you got a plan even for the guy with 2 Magikarps. Okay, it's faster, so we just quick attack here so we can get in some damage. And maybe bounce will miss. Paralysis. And can't move because of paralysis. And can't move again because of paralysis. Okay. You can't. At 23 HP, I can't die to this, right? No, I can't die to it. Okay. Yep, good thing I knew that. Jeez. and still can't move. Come on, quick attack. Thank you. Okay, I think it's 16 HP. Yeah, I can definitely die to a crit bounce. That's a guaranteed OCO. 16. So, these are what I have my backups for. Jeez. Alright, so Lopunny, thanks to Limber, cannot be... yeah, thanks to Limber, Lopunny cannot be KO'd by bounce, so we're going to switch in Wabbit. I said thanks to Limber can't be KO'd by bounce, but I meant can't be paralyzed. Now, hey, Baby Doll Eyes actually has priority, so since we're slower, we can actually do something there. Nice crit pound. So crit bounce can't do 20 against me right now. And a -2 attack, it certainly ain't doing that. Magikarp. Now against this other Magikarp, I imagine that Hydro Pump, if it crits, actually only does 19, huh? Interesting. Well, maybe yeah, I've already used my own berry, so I'll just use Pounds to make it less likely Lotad uses his. I doubt I'll run out of Horn berries, but tiny little optimizations. Quad resist the Hydro Pump, and then we just KO with Absorb. Perfect. Alrighty. Before we head back and heal, I'm gonna grab berries from here. Some paralysis berries will be very nice to use against the upcoming lady. Because Samantha, Conchino, and Jigglypuff trying to paraflinch me, at least use paralysis with attraction at the same time. They can be annoying. Okay, cool. So, before we start planning out that battle, I think we need to go ahead and end it off here. So, next time we're going to be getting through, well, hopefully getting through the awkward grunt battle guarding Petalburg Woods. Not battling Brawly quite yet, but getting our encounters near Dewford. So we'll just save here. Alright, and end it off.